Updating data is also an important part of using our Excel template. And during the time that we were recording the course, there was a new update that came out because they refresh it weekly. We know that it's a new version by scrolling over to the right. We can see our process date is listed as 4/21/2015, and our original process date was 4/14/2015, which is great because we knew the report was going to be updated on a weekly basis, and now we can add this data right back into our template. So to do this, I'm going to go ahead and open up my Access database. And I want to first clear out my import because remember our import is the starting point of our data flow. So I'm just going to hit Control A and then delete. And remember all of these are already in my clean file, so I don't have to worry about losing my data. Now I'm going to Alt Tab back to my Excel report, highlight the first column, use Control Shift down arrow, Control C to copy. And now I'm going to right click and paste. Uh-oh. So this is an error that is telling me that one of the fields has changed. So this is one of the challenges about, not being able necessarily to control the data source or having changes in the data source, but it's okay because we can adjust this. So we know that this has to deal with kind of the different types of data that come through in Access. If this was a type conversion error, so say we were trying to paste text into a number or number into a text, we'd get a slightly different error. But this field being too small is just telling me that I need to go back and check all of my fields to make sure that the field types are okay. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK, and I'm going to suppress further messages. And this is going to go ahead and paste in a section of my data, but give me a paste errors table. Now, a paste errors table is useful because it allows me to really figure out what it is that's wrong. So to figure out what's wrong, I'm going to go up to my design view and go to design view. And really what I want to look at is, again, because of that error, what I'm going to be looking for are short texts. I'm fairly positive that the result is one of these short texts is no longer short. And the difference between short and long text is a short text, you can see the field size is limited to 255 characters, whereas long text is unlimited. So I want to take a look at my paste errors data, and none of these agencies which are listed as short text are there. And my job titles look okay. They don't look like they've gotten too long. Yeah, this section looks okay too. So I don't think it's any of those. Now my work locations also look like they're still not too bad. But now we start to get into some other ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start testing this out. I'm going to delete this row or this set of data, and I'm going to try to paste it back into my data and see if I still get that error. And I still get that error, so that wasn't it. So let's go back and let's take a look here. I'm going to switch to my design view. Well, just not job description. Can't be those two. It's not preferred skills. So the next one to try might be this to apply, because that's my first short text here that's coming through. So this F18, please visit. Now that looks pretty long, actually. Holy. So actually, let's delete that. That's a good candidate. Oh, and there we go. So it pasted in. So it appears that our to apply is what's causing our problem. So that's a good thing to figure out. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to just delete out all this data because I'm going to start fresh. And I'm also going to delete my paste errors. And now what we want to do is switch to design view. And we're going to change our to apply to a long text so that way it's going to adjust the field dimensions. And now let's try copying again. So now I'm going to hit Control C to copy my data again. Right click and paste. And there we go. We've pasted all our data in. So great. So we just needed to fix that data type to get this in. And sometimes you run into these problems and it just is a matter of kind of troubleshooting until you figure it out. Now let's close it. We're going to run our update. Great. We're going to append those rows. Now let's go ahead and open up our template. So I'm going to jump down to the pivot table, but before I hit refresh, I'm going to go ahead and close my database. Otherwise, it's going to give me an error. And now let's right click on the pivot table and hit refresh. And our data has refreshed. Now we can go up and check because we should have, and there it is, our new snapshot week for 17. So now our data has been refreshed and it's showing up in our template. So that's how we can use our data flow and our data feed to update our template.